Glasgow has 258 tower blocks. It also has 50% of all the 20-storey towers in the UK. In the late 1980s in Glasgow, there were a very large number of multi-storey flats which were showing signs of stress, you might say, by which we mean there was a lot of empty houses. They were very, very unpopular with tenants, very poor demand. Quite a number of these would fall into what we would call regeneration areas. So rather than simply investing in the existing housing stock, that might mean a degree of demolition, new build housing. It might, if in particular areas, it might mean large-scale regeneration initiatives involving remaking the neighbourhood from scratch. And these things are not just about housing, but it might be about schools, about shopping provisions and other local facilities as well.
The knocking down of 5 high-rise flats is quite something, and we've had to do a lot of planning to make sure that everything goes well on the day. We have 3 aims for the whole operation from the police perspective. We want the safe demolition of the buildings. We want to ensure that nobody's hurt. We want an event to pass peacefully. We want traffic control to be organised for that day, and also we make sure that nothing happens to the local residents' houses while they're being evacuated.
We've been here for 7 months now. We've started with some asbestos removal, getting rid of the nasty stuff. We've done some soft strip, which is taking out all the timber-based materials from the buildings, taking out the door frames, skirtings, etc. We've then gone about preparing the building, and we call it pre-weakening, but what we're actually doing is we're taking out key openings on our blast floors to allow drilling and to allow the placement of explosives. So we've done the preparation, we've drilled the columns, we've now protected those columns, and we've now charged them with explosives, and they're ready to go.
That's a negative. I'm walking back with you. I'm in between a reserve guard and I don't know the other one, over.
Roger, just confirm you make your way to the meshed area to have sight of perimeter 1 and 25.
The flats themselves are not the nicest of places to live in, and I think it's good that they're coming down. I think it will help the community in the long run with regeneration, redevelopment of the area. It will bring a new spring into their step for the local people, and they will be part of it and try and make it a nicer, friendlier, happier place to live.
Flats are an eyesore.
Oh, they are really. And then the ones you
I
knew.
just look out my window and you face them. So once they come out, we're down to get them down. So we'll get the sun and we'll get more light in towards our buildings and that.
There's quite a few people who stayed up on them. Would rather still be there, you know. But it's nothing else. Time's got to move on.
I can remember as a child, you knew a lot of your neighbours and they all sort of helped each other. But to what degree at that, you know, obviously after 1981 when I'd left, I think I don't mean it all changed at that point, but it changed gradually after that, and I don't know what it was like recently, but I've got quite good memories of living up there.
I think a very important part of the blowdown of Mitchelhill is the number of agencies that have been involved in it. It's not as simple as GHA and CTHA deciding to bring the buildings down. We've had lots and lots of organisations, and the police, the fire brigade, health and safety executive, SafeDem as a demolition contractor, but also the health board in case there's incidents on the day. They've all been briefed and emergency plans written. It's a major event and quite spectacular on the day, but it's taken a lot of planning and a solid year's gone into ensuring that everything goes successfully on the day.
When we start the programme for the demolition, there's quite a lengthy lead-in time, and we give the residents as much information as possible, as early as possible, anything from 6 months beforehand, to prepare them for what's going to happen. The residents have a few concerns. The main ones that come out are, will my house be safe? Will my pets that are left in the house be safe? Will my windows break? Will there be a lot of dust? And those are the main ones that tend to come out.
Hi, Mrs. Ferry?
Not only is it important for us to communicate with the residents who are to be evacuated, there will be neighbours who live round about who will be affected by road closures, parking restrictions. We also try and involve local churches and schools, and very often I go along to local primary schools in the main and talk to the kids there about site safety. Demolition sites are very dangerous places, to try and encourage them to stay away from there.
Next time I want you to throw your hands in the air and shout, be safe. 1, 2, 3. Be safe! Yeah, that's it.
And blocks 7, 5 and 3 will follow on the pre-weakening coming down the blocks. The fact that we're dealing with 5 buildings is reasonably unique. In fact, unique as far as Scotland's concerned. This is the biggest and first time 5 buildings have gone in Scotland in one detonation. So that's pretty exciting from that side. But in terms of the buildings themselves, they're all identical. They're pretty repetitive. Concrete columns, slabs. Put the explosives in, bring them down. Is 5 identical 20-storey buildings here. These explosives will physically cut the concrete and allow the structural member to fail and allow the building to collapse. We've identified key floors to take out. That's ground, 1st, 4th, 8th, 12th and 16th. So we've got 6 blast floors in this 20-storey structure. What we're actually doing is we don't blow anything up in the demolition world. We're actually using the demolition man's best friend, and that's gravity. We're taking out the structural member and we're allowing the building to collapse. The way we control that collapse is the delay detonators actually control the timing of when the structural member is actually wiped out. So from the front of the building, what we're doing is we're coming through the building diagonally, wiping out structural members from front to back, allowing the building to tilt forward and control the bias and the collapse down to ground level.
At first they were really nice flats at first, but through the years it just deteriorated, and a lot of house break-ins and things like that. But at first when my mum went up there, I was 15, and they were great. We loved the views and everything up there, it was a great view. But as the years went on, things didn't go very well. My mum moved because she had a few house break-ins, and she moved to Downcraig. And I don't know, it's just a wee bit of a memory up there, when I was younger.
Firing now. Ground control, T-minus 15, 14, 13.
It's quite sad because it's the end of an era.
12.
You can see them for miles and miles.
11.
It does bring back memories when I look up.
10, 9, 8, 7.
It's going to be enough of me, it's enough of mine.
6, 5.
We see regeneration as setting about tackling some of our very worst housing estates and remaking them as new neighbourhoods and as better places to live. That will inevitably involve demolition, which can be very disruptive for the existing community. And one of the things we don't want to be seen as is an agency which is around about, which deals with moving people out of their own community to somewhere else. We've seen that happen in Glasgow in the past. That's not what we intend to do. But what we do intend to do is to replace the very worst types of social housing with more modern, better, improved housing for those local communities.
We're really pleased with the result. The buildings did exactly what we wanted them to do. They behaved perfectly. Fantastic.
My mum and my grandmothers lived there and we lived with them at times, and it was good growing up when I was young. There's lots of things to do and we like running up and down all the stairs, but when you get older and the lifts break down, it's not so good.
I'm sure there'll be a touch of sadness around other people in terms of the folk who used to live in there. But for me, that will be a start of a major regeneration process that's happening in Glasgow, so I think that'll be very exciting.